It was supposed to be a routine flight. Passengers boarded, expecting to reach their destination safely. But within moments, tragedy struck. A passenger plane carrying 64 people crashed into the icy waters of the Potomac River in Washington, D.C., after a terrifying Midair incident. The scene was chaotic, screams, debris, and a desperate fight for survival. What really happened? Could this disaster have been prevented? Welcome to Entertainment Daily Dose. Today, we dive deep into this tragic event, examining the sequence of events, expert insights, and the ongoing investigation into what caused this horrifying crash. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this and other major events. The flight that turned into a nightmare. It all started as just another day at the airport. The plane, mention aircraft type, was scheduled for a routine flight, carrying 64 passengers and crew members. The weather was cold, with snow flurries in the air, but nothing seemed unusual at first. Shortly after takeoff, something went horribly wrong. Witnesses on the ground reported hearing a loud noise in the sky, followed by the terrifying sight of the aircraft struggling to stay in the air. Some described it as wobbling, while others said it seemed to be missing a part. Moments later, the plane lost altitude rapidly and plunged straight into the Potomac River. Panic set in immediately. The impact broke the aircraft apart, sending passengers into the freezing water. Many were trapped inside, while others managed to escape onto floating debris. Eyewitnesses on the nearby bridge and shoreline looked on in horror, unable to believe what they were seeing. The immediate aftermath. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but the conditions made rescue efforts extremely challenging. The freezing water made it difficult for survivors to stay afloat, and strong currents pulled some beneath the surface before rescuers could reach them. But amidst the tragedy, there were acts of incredible heroism. Bystanders, and even some off-duty personnel, jumped into the water, trying to save as many people as possible. Helicopters hovered above, lowering rescue workers who pulled survivors from the wreckage. The clock was ticking. Hypothermia could set in within minutes, and every second counted. One survivor, barely able to speak due to the cold, described the terrifying experience. "One moment we were in the air, and the next, we hit the water. People were screaming. I grabbed onto a piece of the plane and just prayed someone would find us." The investigation begins. As the rescue mission continued, investigators arrived at the scene to determine what had caused the crash. Was it a mechanical failure? Pilot error? Or something even more sinister? The black box, which records cockpit conversations and flight data, became the key to unlocking the mystery. Experts worked tirelessly to recover it from the riverbed, knowing that the final moments before impact could reveal what went wrong. Aviation analysts speculated on several possible causes. Some suggested that engine failure may have played a role, while others pointed to the possibility of structural damage. But one theory stood out: a Midair collision. The Midair incident theory. According to initial reports, there were indications that the plane might have collided with something in the air. Was it another aircraft? A drone? Or possibly a bird strike? Bird strikes are more common than most people realize. Large birds can cause severe damage to aircraft engines, sometimes leading to catastrophic failures. However, if this was a bird strike, why didn't the pilots issue a distress call? Another theory suggests a possible mechanical malfunction. Aircraft undergo rigorous maintenance, but even the smallest overlooked issue can turn deadly. Investigators will be looking at the plane's maintenance records to see if there were any prior warnings. The human factor. As much as technology plays a role in aviation safety, human decisions are just as crucial. Could pilot error have contributed to the crash? Pilots are trained to handle emergency situations, but sometimes, split-second decisions can mean the difference between life and death. Weather conditions also play a significant role in flight safety. While the snowfall wasn't extreme, icing on the wings or other critical parts of the aircraft could have contributed to the loss of control. Investigators will analyze weather data to determine if this was a factor. Survivors and families left in shock. For the families of the victims, this tragedy is beyond devastating. One moment, their loved ones were on a routine flight, and the next, they were gone. Many are demanding answers. How could this happen? Was this crash preventable? Survivors, still shaken, describe the moments leading up to the crash. Some recall hearing unusual sounds, while others say the aircraft seemed to be struggling before impact. These first-hand accounts will be crucial in the investigation. Lessons from past aviation disasters. Unfortunately, this is not the first time a plane has crashed into a river. One of the most famous cases was U.S. Airways Flight 1549, known as the Miracle on the Hudson. In that incident, the pilots managed to land the aircraft on the Hudson River after both engines failed due to a bird strike. Miraculously, all passengers survived, thanks to quick thinking and expert piloting. But not all crashes have happy endings. The Potomac River itself has witnessed tragedy before. In 1982, Air Florida Flight 90 crashed into the river after taking off in icy conditions, killing most on board. That crash led to significant changes in aviation safety regulations. What happens next? As investigators work tirelessly to uncover the truth, the aviation industry will be watching closely. If a mechanical issue is found, airlines worldwide may need to inspect their fleets for similar risks. If pilot error was involved, new training protocols could be introduced to prevent future disasters. For now, recovery efforts continue, with divers searching the river for missing passengers and crucial evidence. The nation mourns those lost, while the survivors face a long journey of healing. A call for safer skies. This tragic event serves as a stark reminder that despite advancements in aviation technology, accidents can still happen. It raises serious questions about safety measures, emergency preparedness, and the importance of thorough aircraft inspections. As the investigation unfolds, we will